All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely um, Sabbath evening, or it's past Sabbath, in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. We're coming with a topic of Christ and the stretched out arm and hand. We're going to cover something on that uh, regarding that topic. And we might go over a little of that topic of that help me, okay? Because that's just easy to cover. You have to go back to the Genesis 1 and read Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, 27, and 28. It pretty much lay out the whole idea of the purpose of the help meet, the whole purpose of the help meet. It was laid out. And just because man took it and ran with it their way doesn't mean that the father didn't lay that bad boy as a foundation. He did. Okay. And that's what I think is confusing a lot of people. They seeing and they're reading one thing, and yes, I do understand that the Roman Catholic have went in and smeared a lot of things, but man has taken their course. They have also went in and moved a lot of things by their wisdom and their knowledge and their understanding, by their feelings, by their emotions, by their personal opinion. Have they moved many things out of the biblical in the order of spirit and in truth? So Sister Deborah is coming, and she's going to. I want to give that glory. We need to start recognizing He that holds the power and the authority of all things, and He that's going to pull up and has pulled up, but many eyes can't see. He said, they say they see, but they cannot see. They say they hear, but they cannot hear. But this here judgment that the Father has on the earth is not something that you're going to be how would I eager to see nor to feel. It's just going to be a time, not a time. It's just going to come and it's going to be present before you, and you just going to be, like he said, a perilous time. A lot of people have ignored all that. They don't care nothing about all. They don't care nothing about that. I heard a young man early this morning, and he got a lot of subscribers, and he been leading a lot of these brothers. No, I ain't gonna say they his brother. He been leading a lot of them with all this getting women in check. They need to be in order, and they need to be submissive, polygamy, right along the side with Dow. And now he's totally against the way Dow has showed up. But see, that's just who that man was from the beginning. Everybody just want to make him somebody outside of really who he is. But this young man now he got a little taste of what it's like to go purchase land, but he's a long ways from home. And what I mean when I say a long ways from home, whenever Deborah speaks of a long ways from home, I'm speaking of going out in the ocean, way far out to where you cannot see dry land. Okay. And when you get out there, guess what? You'll never see dry land again, because this is where a lot of these people are taking you off, way out in the ocean. And you're not going to ever see dry land. That means you're not going to come to the knowledge of seeing spirit and truth. You're not going to come to the knowledge of understanding the light, because you've gone too far out. And you went out in that ocean like that because they was leading you and guiding you, and in you wanted a God. You wanted an idol God. You got it. They took you way out in the ocean. Now you're out there. And even if you thought about dry land, it doesn't matter. You'll never see dry land again. See, and that's kind of it's real sad, to be honest. I know I'm not allowed to say that, but it's real. It really is, because people are going too far out deep with these people and trusting these people, especially these men, talking about leader, king, and ruler, and they going so far out. Then they look around and realize, I can't see no dry land. You don't need to see dry land. You went too far out deep with these individuals and what they believe and what they speaking and what they teaching. You don't understand the difference. There's two sides. There's a spiritual wisdom and there's a natural fleshly wisdom. There's a spiritual knowledge. There's a fleshly knowledge. There's a spiritual understanding. There's a fleshly understanding. You see what I'm saying? And with that fleshly understanding come emotions and personal opinion and feelings. So you in for a whammy when you take up the flesh wisdom, the flesh knowledge, the flesh understanding. You take on their feelings and their emotions and their personal opinion, and you go straight out in the ocean. And when you turn to back to even try to get back, you don't see no dry land because you went too far deep. And deep is really deep. Not only did you go into it with your mind, you went into it with your spirit. And that's what's for out there. Your spirit is caught out there in the ocean. And you can't see no dry land. So that's a dangerous place to be in this day and time. What I want to talk about, I added to my topic, Christ. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. I added in my topic, Christ, because I wanted to speak about the stretched out arm and the hand. But I cannot just speak about the stretched out arm and the hand. That's what the Father said. He said, go on, add it. Go on, tell the truth of the whole matter, Deborah. Just tell the truth of the whole matter. Just pull up and tell them it's Christ. Just because they went out deep, don't you go out deep, flying behind them, trying to get them to understand that which is easy to understand. But because they want an idol God. So they go way out in the deep with these men, believe in their newfound religion, the Hebrew Israelite awakening, and they just go deep. They just go deep. They go all the way out. And you know what? You guys, even when I was young, going to the church, even when I was coming up as a young person, did you know I used the spirit of discerning, that gift that he gave me to discern the pastor, the evangelist, the teacher, the assistant pastor, the singers? I discerned everything. And that's where I was able to do use all the gift that he had, was when I stepped into these churches. That's how I learned to use my gifts. See, if he instilled these gifts in me and I never used them, how would I know how and that they exist with the anointing in which Yah has ushered them unto me? So he allowed me to go within. And that's how I learned about the tongues. When he taught me that he had given me, he said, now I gave you the gift of interpreting tongues. Now, I had no idea. I was just thinking that I could understand the spiritual tongue. And I thought, well, okay, I can go in here, I can understand the spiritual tongue. But I came up on a problem where I was hearing all these other things. And I'm like, wait a minute now, what is this? I can't discern that. That's not a spiritual tongue. So what he did is, in the church, he let me, and as he taught me, I'm telling y'all, the Holy Spirit taught me the 3 tongues. Deborah is not one. That's why you confused. I said, I knew it was something. Because these people ain't speaking the anointed tongue. They ain't speaking where I can discern them. He said, because wherever I'm at, Satan going to be present. Because he's trying to mimic my ways and my doing. Okay? Just like you see them making all these movies about Revelation. That's Satan mimicking the prophecies to get you caught up from the floor to believe that they know the way and how it's going to turn out. Then you look at the movies and then you get stuck here. Oh, that's what's in Revelation. Or it's going to be like this. No, it's not. It still ain't going to be the way Satan has orchestrated it through the movies, and through television. No, it's still ain't. It's going to run with the way it is. And the only way you're going to know the way that it is in Revelation, the Ruach still going to have to pull up and tell you. See, that's another thing. We just forsaken this power. And now Sister Deborah Sister Deborah is getting ready to speak on this power that y'all have forsaken all this time. And he said it's called denying the power therein. See, and that's what you all didn't understand. Therein is power. Yeshua knew that it was, and he explained to us all about this power. We didn't want it. You see, but now we got all these people out here teaching and preaching and leading the mass and the multitude all out in the deep. And everybody believing they got the power to be kings, leaders, and rulers. And they just taking you out in the deep so that you may drown, you guys. They're getting ready to drown your butt. Not getting ready. They have drowned you because now you can't see dry land. That means you can't see the anointed. You can't see the ruach. You can't see nothing spiritual. You just out in the deep. You don't see the dry land. See, and the dry land is the things which are spiritual, which are you can make it back and be saved. But see, if you're out in that ocean, let me see how long you're gonna stay out there. You're gonna drown. You're gonna drown. You're gonna drown. Many have already drowned. And when they come back, when they hit back to their destiny or home base, what happens? They cuckoo clock. Now they don't believe nothing that they were taught while they was way out in the ocean. Now they have all these demonic stuff that they detached themselves to, and now they got all these here wicked belief because they went too far out too far out in the ocean, and they did that willingly. Okay, so what Sister Deborah is wanting to do, I want to stress the fact that even today, as I was so worn out and torn, I had to lay down and I got a little rest. But I had a lady text me and tell me, can we pray for her son and my daughter? And I'm like saying, my son and your daughter known each other for 3 years. What is it we need to pray about? And you ain't never touched base with me. I'm like, what's the deal? You know, that lady, she come talking and I said, wait a minute, hold up. Have you ever heard it is said, be slow to speak and quick to listen? Because she didn't want to hear nothing I had to say. She wanted, and true and out, she texted me and called me, but I had my phone off. So I called myself responding. And when I respond, she went to talking, where she wouldn't even let me even get a word in. And honey, you didn't call the wrong person. You didn't call the wrong person. And first thing she said, I'm a prophet. I said, ma'am, so am I. And you know, he said a prophet is subject to a prophet. She didn't want to hear that. And I told her we were in that day. She didn't want to hear that. She went to tell me to pray for her oldest son, and she told me all the things that's going on with him. Pray for her son, that her and my daughter are friends. Pray for them. And I said, I was explaining to her, he ain't spend no night at that house over there because China's dad check on her every night, and he be the last one up and the first one down. And he say, ain't nobody been spending no night there. The reason why she's saying that, no matter what, no telling where her son is. He probably, what my daughter said, he stayed sleeping in his car. See, she don't know enough about her son, and she come calling me. You ain't never called me in 3 years. Why are you calling me now? You see what I'm saying? So I hung up on her. She overstepped her boundaries. Well, can we just pray? Well, baby, we ain't even on one accord on just basic sentences. What do you mean, can we pray? No, we can't. And she just went into a prayer. Click. Pray on that. Pray on that. I sit back and listen all of what she was talking about. All about her son. And then she said, and Miss Brown, can you pray for him? If you don't trust that I can pray for your son, why are you calling me? For me to just listen to you. And I listened to her. But the moment I said, you know, it says that we are in that day. It says it in the Old Testament and the New. I don't need you to tell me we're in that day. I know that my pastor, my dad is a bishop, and my dad is a pastor. Oh, she just went into a. I said, oh, no wonder she ain't dealt with me. Yeah, you got the wrong one. So much for that. Let me get into what I am about to get into, because I want to. I sat down and I woke up this morning, and he spoke to me about the stretched out hand. That's all he said. Deborah, the stretched out hand. And I said, oh, I wonder if he's saying cover the stretched out hand. And then he said it again, the stretched out hand. He said it 3 times, y'all. So that's why I'm covering the stretched out hand, but I'm going to cover it in a way that you can understand once you're off this, this video ends, you can kind of understand the stretched out hand and the the stretched out arm and the right hand, the hand of the Most High Yah. And this is what has happened also in the book of Genesis in the beginning. They never knew who the stretched out arm and the right hand was. They never knew that Christ was in the beginning. Christ was in the beginning. He was in Genesis. He was the stretched out hand, arm. He was the right hand of the Father. He was the power that's on the right side of the Father. It is the Father's right hand, which he called his only begotten. Okay. So when we don't understand who that is, guess what happens, y'all? How do you think we're gonna get up out of here? How do you think how seriously somebody need to talk to this sister? How do you expect to get up out of here? How do you expect to defeat everything that's actually taking place on the earth? Something that they never gripped back in Torah. They never gripped it then in Torah, nor do they understand it now. And that is the stretched out arm and the hand. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you all. So what I'm saying is, Sister Deborah finna lay out some things regarding the right hand of the Father. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. He was showing up and showing out. And Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Psalms. I mean, he wanted you to understand the power in this right hand. Okay? Something that we have rejected. We rejected because we didn't know. No, I can't say that because he ain't gonna let me get away with that again. Saying to the people we didn't know. Well, we reject the power that was present in the beginning. This is in Genesis chapter 1, where all the power was cutting up from the floor up, and we forsaken the power. And the power of the Most High, the Creator himself, he turned that power into his son. He called the power his only begotten, okay, his beloved. That was his right hand, you guys. And you can hear him in the New Testament and in the Old, which Sister Deborah don't agree with old and new, because it's no old and new in Yah. Okay, it's beginning and the end. Okay, so in him, he has this right hand that's very, very powerful. It's all power in the heavens and on the earth. In the heavens and on the earth is the Father's right hand. And when he sit on the throne, his right hand of power is with him. And that's why the Son of Man, which was made a little lower than all the other angels, were asked, sit here on my right hand until I make the earth with my right hand power your footstool. Okay? So when the Son of Man came down, he came down with the Son of Yah. Why? Because that's the power of Yah that brought down the word and his spirit with the Son of Man. And they come down to do a powerful mission for the Father. Okay? So when we get to Genesis, because we never knew, okay, the power of Yah that rests right dead in Genesis chapter 1, starting with Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, and went on down. It was his power that was bringing forth all the things in which his word spoke, because the power and the word are detached to each other. When the word speaketh, the power bag it up. That's another reason why this cannot be the word. It is words. Okay? So in the beginning, when we forsake Genesis 1, where all that awesome power existed and brought all things that you see today forth, that was the power of the Father's right hand. And the power of the Father's right hand, the world calls Christ, not knowing that, no, you guys, it's the power of the Father's right hand. So they called it Christ. That's what come down with Yeshua, was Christ. And the Father called Christ his only begotten, his beloved, because he only have one power, and it's in his right hand. And his arm is detached to his right hand. That's when he reached way down. You know how to, in the uttermost darkness, because he's high and low, the stretched arm itself can reach anywhere on the earth, anywhere. So he wants you to understand my power is connected to my arm, which can reach anywhere on the earth, from my throne down to the hell, to the lake of fire. From the lake of fire all the way up to my throne, can my right arm, with my right arm, stretched out arm, with my right hand connected to it. That's all his power. That's how great it is. And I'm talking about it, and I'm feeling that thing because I'm feeling good. The reason why I'm feeling good is because a lot of people talk about the Exodus when they came out of Egypt and how they end up, Pharaoh letting them go, and they went on and they went into the promised land and all the signs and wonders. But you know what's so sad, y'all? The sad thing about it is all that time, that power was cutting up from the floor, and we never recognized the power of the right hand of the Father. We never even sat down to even study the instructions and direction. And if you study it, you'll see the arm and the right hand all over the place. But for you to get the fullness of what the right hand and the stretched out arm is, the Ruach has to come and break it down so you can know this is my power. It's my right hand. It's my only begotten. It's my beloved. It came down to help the mission of the Son of Man. You see? So that's the sad part, is that because you look at the Exodus and everybody is so excited for the second Exodus, how can people be so excited and so energized about what he's going to do, taking his remnant out of here, and how you're going to get to the promised land, and how you're going to have this, and you're going to have this, and this going to happen. It's all about them, not even knowing him. So in me, as a prophet is in the wilderness, I sit back and I do. In me, I said, well, hey, all them not even knowing who you are, never knew who you are, never cared to know who you are. They don't know your power. They don't know your name. They don't know who you are. They don't know your spirit. They don't know you. They don't know nothing about you. You know? And I say that because I'm sitting back as a prophetess in the wilderness and talk from that level. I'm sitting back knowing him and knowing what he's capable of doing, and knowing how he is and who he is. And then I'm sitting back where I'm sitting back at on the earth, watching these people not even know who he is. But yet they're waiting for him to come get them. And they didn't even know who came and got Israel out of Egypt and all those other places that they were in captivity. I learned so much about this right hand and this stretched out arm years ago. And I that's one outside that what took place before the foundation of the world. That right hand and that stretched out arm is the second best to know about. What took place before the foundation of the world, I give that a 1. And then I put the second one that's greater. No, I better put both of them as 1. The right hand and the stretched out arm. I put both of them as 1, because when you think of what took place before the foundation of the world, it still takes you back to that right hand, which is the power, which is the one that created all things on the earth. You see? So therefore, just saying, that's why I put it back into oneness, because they both are very powerful to know. But just think how the endurance and the long suffering in the individual to know these things and have to live even to the year of 2024 and watch people not know nothing about none of that. Isn't that, to me, that's deep, to sit back and see all this in the spirit of the Most High. Yah has revealed it all to you, and you sitting in a land that nobody don't even know who that is. They don't know what took place before the foundation of the world. They don't know the right hand. They don't know the stretched out arm. They don't know nothing about none of that. And then that makes it kind of, that's why I said it's sad on one end, but in the spiritual realm, it's like, Father only gave it to those in whom he felt in himself can embrace it with utmost respect. So that's the only way I think of it, because I'm like saying for us to be in 2024 and don't know nothing about that power, that's kind of sad. And here everybody waiting to get up out of here, talking I'm going to the promised land, or he come to get us, he come to do this and he come to do that. Wait a minute, what do you think he gonna do it with? How is it you want him to do all this and you haven't taken out no time in your life? You could be 90 years old and don't know nothing about the power of the creator that created all things. Okay, that first Exodus, y'all, let me tell y'all what made me kind of upset about the first Exodus is when I saw all the work of that right hand and that stretched out arm cutting up from the floor up, and then man sits on this devil platform and teach and preach the first Exodus, pastors and leaders and bishops and priests and Maureen seers and watchmen and prophets and prophetess and all these ministers. They get to talking about Exodus. You don't know a Rex behind about Exodus, baby. Going back to Genesis 1. If you miss the power that created all those things, you miss the power that brought Israel in and out of Egypt. You missed it. See, what happened is they understand the story. That's why I said this book is like a story. But even in the story, it shows you a lot of things about how you even got into Egypt, how you came out of Egypt. You see, it tells you, and it's all talking about that right hand and that stretched out arm, and you missed it, just like you missed Genesis chapter 1. And this makes a lot of sense when he says, if they missed Genesis 1, they'd have missed the whole book. So I sit back and I think about people who are so excited about saying, they just excited about being able to come and deceive you with the fact that, oh, he's going to bring us out. Oh, we getting out of here. They got ships. We going out on plane. They talking all of this. Why is it my father is not getting any glory in this? Why is it he not getting any credit? It is off the chain. He didn't get the glory. He didn't get the credit. He didn't get the honor when he brought him out of Egypt. Did y'all know that? See, that's something just think of that a little bit. He never did get the glory. He never did get the honor. He never got the praise from bringing them out of Egypt, y'all, to the wilderness. He never did get, or he never did inherit no praise, no glory, no honor, no worship. Soon as they got from one place to the other, they start cutting up from the floor. You see? He never got it, y'all. And this is the people you running around here thinking is so special. This is the people you say, we the two Jews, we the children, we Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, you's a true fool. That even this prophetess would wonder, why would he want to have anything to do with you? But because I know what took place before the foundation of the world, I'm with him. I salute your plan from the beginning. That's why I'm seeing it. And it's different. It's different when he teaches you what took place before the foundation of the world. And them days come according to how he has orchestrated it, and you seeing it. It's like, you're going to let them do that? You're going to let it's just off the chain. And I noticed something, you guys. This is what I noticed. I noticed that he ain't forcing nobody to understand his power. He ain't forcing nobody to study his right hand nor his stretched out arm. He ain't saying to nobody, and that's why nobody study. They don't want to look up the right hand. They don't want to look up the stretched out arm. Guess why, you guys? Too much truth in it. Man would rather look at something that he can capture you and bring you into his captivity and his control. They don't want nothing else outside of that. You see what I'm saying? That's why Deuteronomy 28 shut down every Hebrew Israelite man and woman. It shuts us down. It shuts us down to the point where it tells you you're going to be destroyed. How can you be even shut down? Who can be shut down more than that? And that's in Deuteronomy 28. It says about 7 to 8 times. That's the end game of it. Why ain't none of them preaching it and teaching it? You see what they stay away from? You see how they stay away from what is truth? So to me, what I'm learning is truth, spirit, and truth of the whole matter is what everybody is running the opposite way from. And people who's going in the left direction are people who already, and they don't even know that they got their ticket already to the lake of fire. And that's where you see 90% of people going the left route. Because they figured if I'm not caught up in what is actually going to take place and is taking place and have taken place, well, I'm good. I got peace. I got joy. You can have all that, baby. Go on in your lane you were walking in, the left lane. You see, so I, Sister Deborah, as a prophet, in full understanding of why there's a narrow gate and why there's a broad gate, why hell was enlarging. I know all about that because I'm a living prophet, not a dead one. I see why he did it. You see what I'm saying? I understand why. So it'd be different if I didn't know what took place before the foundation of the world and what is actually going on based on what he constantly telling me, then I wouldn't know. But because he has enlightened me and has given me spirit and truth and a light in the right hand, I can see all this. And I'm like, oh, and it is. He had to instill in me long suffering and endurance spirit because it was getting really heavy to see these things and to know that people are walking around actually like zombies, like they don't see nothing going on in the spirit realm nor in the natural. They're just like zombies. So what happens when he brought you out in Israel out of Egypt? We as a people reject truth of the whole matter when it come down to his power. And we don't look and see that how did you get from here to here? Watch this, y'all. Watch this. We had our eyes wide open, saw what he did in Egypt, and still today teach that thing without the power. We want to teach that thing and preach that thing, and we have to deceive the mass of the people without the power. And that's what we done. And then we pull up here today trying to teach this thing without the power a second time and want everybody to understand the second Exodus. We're getting out of here. We're going here. We do these, we do this. And everything they claiming to be, everything they're saying that's going to happen, they have left the power out of it. Just as they did with the first Exodus. See, Sister Deborah can't just study or read Torah with the Exodus whole stage without the power. See, from the beginning to the end, I see the power. From the time they went into Egypt, even with Joseph, I see the power. See, y'all see a storyline. Y'all see words. Y'all see action. But no one's willing to say, wait a minute, Sister Deborah, I see the power. You can't see it without the Ruach. You can't see it. This is still what he means. Very few, Deborah, is going to find it. You're not going to find truth, y'all. Because you think somebody going to teach it and preach it. Oh, I got it. No, it's a direction that Yah leads you. And he right there with you. So when I'm looking at the first Exodus, here you got in the year 2024, you got these men teaching and preaching. And now you got all these Gentiles, all these different other nations teaching and preaching the Exodus and teaching the Bible, the instructions and direction book in an order of what is said if you study in it. So they studying it without the power. See, when you reading this book, it is a study guide. That means it's for your flesh to study. Only one thing can pull up, and that's the ruach. But he wants you to have, you have to have the seed of the spirit in you from the kingdom. That's the thing about it. And that's why I call, sometimes I say it's sad, but then he don't want me to use that all the time, because I'm saying that his will is sad. And I don't want to do that in that way. I want to separate knowing what I know and not make his will sad, but just say being human and knowing that they are far away from his will. That's sad. Because their action shows that they are not really doing any further detail of studying and waiting and tarrying like they did the day of Acts, in the day of Pentecost. They were waiting for something. They weren't coming out, child, until they received it. That's how you should have been. That's how you should have been. You shouldn't left the throne of the Most High Yah. You shouldn't come up off your knees. You shouldn't get up and stop praying until he has entered in. That's how simple it is. And if he don't enter in, you don't get up off the floor. You stay your tail down there until he come. That's what they did in the day of Pentecost. And when he came in straight in with power. See? And this is what the people are missing today. They have no power. That's why it was so easy for men to walk away and put their crown on the ground and the baton on the ground. Walk straight in, naked. That means it's ugliness. Seen by who? The serpent knew it because he seen him. He didn't waste his time going to the tree of life because he came from heavens to serve as the seed of the serpent. Okay? See, that's the power. Going back to that power. When you don't know nothing about the power, you don't know about the way the Most High has orchestrated this thing. You don't know nothing. You just down here role playing it with a bunch of clowns, a bunch of people that's walking you straight to the broad gate. So when I get to Exodus, as I say, when we get into Exodus, the first Exodus, no one recognized all that power. That right hand was cutting up from the floor up, y'all. That right hand was cutting up. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Who is this whole host of heaven? What they doing? What the whole host of heaven doing down here? What are they doing? See, y'all didn't even know that. Y'all didn't know that the whole host of heaven participated in bringing the house of Israel out of Pharaoh's. Y'all didn't even know that. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you the level of power that was invested in bringing those people out of Egypt. And they came out of Egypt, never recognizing the power that brought them out. As you read the study guide, you hear all these great signs and wonders. The ocean parting, and they walking on dry land, and Pharaoh's army drowning. They had light by day and light by night, and fire leading them. And y'all go back and read it. And when I sit there and I said, wait a minute, hold up, what are you talking about here? You mean the whole host of heaven was in play with this? Yes, Deborah. You see what I'm saying? You all never knew the power of the right hand of the Father and his stretched out arm that participated in the first exit. And here you stand your ugly tails here today, talking about he come to get you, to take you out of here. And see, this is what I'm saying. 400 years and you never come to the knowledge of anything. Ever learning. Ever learning. And never coming to the knowledge. And those that have ever learning, guess who they are, y'all? People who run and get these degrees, scholars, science. They forever thinking they know, and all these other lost books, found books, and all these books, and they never come to the knowledge of the truth. Never come to the knowledge of the truth. Because as I sit here and I explain to you all, how can we look and wait for such a great power to bring us out in this day and time as a second Exodus, and we have not read nor understood the power that brought the first Exodus out of Egypt? And when, like I said, yeah, I think I was a teenager. I couldn't have been no more. I was like 18, I think, when I was like confused. I said, wait a minute, hold up. Who is this whole host of heaven? I'm confused. I'm like, wait a minute, who is it? What are they doing? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? See, all of these played a role of bringing Israel out of Egypt. And Israel is so foolish, so stiff-necked, so rebellious, so disobedient, so unlearned. And just because you think a man, say he a man as a leader, as a ruler, as a king, that don't mean a rat's behind. That's what Solomon said, vain and that's worthless. See, people are all these things without having spirit and truth of the whole matter. So here he is, he's bringing them out. What was the purpose of bringing them out and allowing the army to come behind them? Because he wanted to show Israel the last time, when they coming after you, watch what I do. When they coming after you, watch what I do. Those people's too ignorant. They don't even remember. When they got over there, they could care less what you did, Father. They didn't pay attention to how you drowned the whole army that was after behind them. They didn't pay. This is real. That's why they got left in the promised land. Not in the promised land, in the wilderness. That's how they got left there, y'all. See, y'all thinking somebody just be talking. None of you ever realize that the same one he brought out of Pharaoh's bondage, he left their bad boys in the wilderness. You see? No one ever thought of that in the second Exodus. But he's going to do the same thing, baby. He's going to do the same thing. You think you're going somewhere? You ain't going nowhere. Oh, no. Oh, no. You ain't going nowhere. And this is why I say unto you, don't ever think that you at the level where you have the fullness in understanding it, unless the Father has given you the fullness. And he has given some, a lot of them, the boldness. So when you're speaking of Christ, I'm telling y'all, that's what you're missing. People are missing Christ. They're missing Christ. And in Hebrew, it's Hamashiach, but you're missing him. You're missing him. Because that's the Father's right hand. That's his stretched out arm. That's his all power. That's his beloved, his only begotten, the Son of Yah. That's Yah's right hand. It's called the Son of Yah. And that's why you got all churches battling. Oh, the Son of Man is the Father, and the Father is the Son of you. You messed up from the floor because in Genesis chapter 1, you missed Christ. You missed Hamashiach. You missed the power that came down with the Son of Man. He was in Genesis 1 when he created everything. That was the same power came down with the Son of Man. You see what I'm saying? Now, how could the power be in Genesis 1? Okay, and just stuck there. That's why he said, if you miss Genesis 1, you'd missed the whole book. The whole study guide you'd have missed. You messed up on the floor up and don't know it. Because Genesis 1 set the pace. It set the foundation to know the power. You forsaken the power therein and took on this book without the power. And that's why people lost with the cause and without it. Because it's plainly seen as you read. You can read that there is a power there. Why is it they can't perceive? Why is it they can't get it, Father? Why is it they can't see what they read? Why is it they can't hear when someone is reading? It's because I haven't given them. I blind them so they cannot see, Deborah. I stopped them from hearing, Deborah. So they cannot hear. Why? Because they're not about the Father's seed. Because what they do is they would take it and lead even more away. So he let them lead people away in their own darkness of their heart. He ain't giving you no light to lead nobody into your darkness. He's going to let you remain in the dark where you cannot see, nor can you hear. So what goes on? So why they so busy talking about the second Exodus, you don't even understand the first. And the first was to prepare you for the second. The first was for us to understand, bam, the power of the right hand and the stretched out arm. Understand what else? How Yah rumbles with that power. That was the first Exodus. Do you think these people today know anything about the power that was in Exodus 1? No, they don't. They don't. Just like their family got left in the wilderness, that's just where their mindset is at today. Y'all didn't know that, but it is. They have no idea about the power that brought them out of Egypt. And it's not about you being a true Jew, you to this, you to you. The same way that they died in the wilderness, same way when he take up his and the journey itself, there's going to be many that's going to die out that ain't going to make it to the promised land. This too is the power of the right hand of the Father. As I dissect even deeper, and it makes me feel even better, because the same right hand that brings you out is the same right hand that puts you in. Oh, Father, yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh, I'm in trouble. The same right hand that'll pull you out will be the same right hand that'll put you in. Debbie, you gonna get in trouble. You gonna be in trouble, girl. Let us go to Acts chapter. Let's go to Acts chapter 4. I'm gonna show you something. In the book of Acts. See, you all really think you really don't know. You really don't know. But you not knowing also is the will of the Father. Because he knows what's invested in you. So you can fake it until you make it. You can get out here and want people to think and believe that you where you say you at. You can go on and do that all you want. I would hate to fake it and thinking I'm making it on the earth and end up in the lake of fire. If I ain't gonna get it right here and now, let me tell you, I am not gonna fake it, knowing where I'm gonna end up in the lake. Okay, in the book of Acts, chapter 4, and I just want to share something with you. Let's look at verse 26. Just look at verse 26. In verse 26, it says, the kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord. And, do you see that and there? And, y'all don't get it, do you? See? That's what I was saying. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. As I was reading the book and I went on down and kept reading, I also can see things smeared. I can see things smeared very clearly. But listen to Acts chapter 4 and verse 26. The kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against, listen to this, the Lord and against his Christ. You see that? Shows you too. They was against the Lord and his Christ, meaning the Son of Man and the Son of Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. And in this instructions and direction book, it is in here probably 50 to 60 times. So you can get a grip that the Son of Man, which is Lord, is not the same as Christ. Here it breaks it and separate it with the word and. Why didn't they just put them together? Said Lord Christ. Because they're not together. They want you to see something. What is it they want you to see? The power. So who were these rulers and these kings going up against and gathering against? The Son of Man and the power of Yah. That's who Christ is. Here it is separating the two. Why? Because it's letting you know, mess with them if you want. Pull up on them if you want. That's what it's letting you know. It's in there telling you. Okay, you here gathering together against the Lord. Okay, you against the Lord. Okay, pull up, step up if you want. Step up, because now what? Christ. You can't beat that. They stepping up against the both. But the reason why they separate and let you know that it's being identified. You can't see it, you guys, in the flesh. It's when the Ruach teaches you, he teaches you to know the difference. These men that call themselves pastors, leaders, bishops, evangelists, priests, apostles, watchmen, seers, prophetess, they don't understand nothing I'm talking about. Because it wasn't given to them when they were born. It wasn't planted in them before the foundation of the world to know what Sister Deborah knows. You see? Now, what he's saying here is actually letting you get the understanding that, wait a minute, hold up. Y'all gathering together against the Lord and his Christ. His Christ is Yah's power, the only begotten. You see? Which is called the Son of Yah. And this is what they missed in Genesis 1. They missed the power. When the word spoke, the power brought forth. Why? Because they hand in hand. That's why Yeshua couldn't come with just the word, because the power came with him. The power, you just can't come down, Yeshua, with the word. Because detached to the word of Yah is the power. You don't get it. This is where you realize that people are gone. Because as simple as I just broke it down, those who didn't know what I just spoke, you should have seen a new light. That's why it's no such thing as the way that they are teaching in these churches. But do you see them, 30, 40, 50 congregation? Look at TD Jakes. Had 2 and 3 churches. All over the place. But look what he was doing. This is exactly how it is. That's the same way spirit and truth is. These people don't have no spirit and truth, but yet they teaching and leading the mass. They got likes and subscribers and people praising them and giving them glory, supporting them. And this little old hand standing here speaking spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. And she gets the little of the little and less. And you think I'm worried about it? No, because I got what it takes. I got the real deal. The real deal. And I know it. That's the problem. That's a problem there when you know you got, when you know you got spirit and truth. You don't worry about who gonna detach to you. It don't matter. Because all that I have is all that thou hast given me. That's the only one that can detach. That's the only one that can subscribe and like. Is those that Yah has given me, who feeds off spirit and truth and the light. And they backpack should be blown. I mean, they probably need another backpack. But this much information. because it should be doing it to their spirit, in their hearts, in their minds, that, oh, all this good information, this is what I'm gaining. I'm gaining this. I'm not paying for anything. I'm gaining all of this. You see? So I wanted to jump into that so you can highlight when you're trying to explain to people that Yeshua and Christ is who came down with him. That's the Son of Yah. When you're trying to explain to people the Son of Man and the Son of Yah came down as one in the mission of the Father. So when you got these pastors saying that Yeshua is God in the flesh, no, you got to kind of bend up and bend down. Okay. The main thing Yeshua was trying to teach us as the lost house of Israel, he was trying to teach us to be able to separate them both, to bring them back into oneness. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to separate the both and bring it back into oneness. And the oneness is the oneness that the Son has with the Father. And that's what Yeshua was trying to do. He said, all that you see that me do is of my Father. He always trying to get us to understand that Christ was his Father. That's why they said Yeshua, his Christ. You see, he always wanted us to understand that the Son of Yah was the Father. And he was the Son born of a woman, the Son of Man. But he wanted us to understand. Oh, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've been in this since I was 4 years old. I have sat back and read Yeshua and how he himself set such an awesome example to the whole world in this instruction and direction book, to where you can say, you can think, you can feel anything you want. You come down here not knowing truth, and ain't truth that know you. Let me say that again. You came down from the kingdom not knowing truth, and truth not knowing you. So it ain't that you coming down here, you're supposed to find out all this truth and all this light. No. The way you already came down here, the way that you are. There's two seeds came to the earth, the serpent and the spiritual seed. And who holds all the seeds? The men. And that's why the women are catching hell with the children. And the Father says women going to rule over the children. And this one man taught today that Yah said, and women shall rule over the men. He didn't say that. He got a verse in there saying the women shall rule over the children. In a sense, trying to get you to understand, because he that I called, appointed, and anointed, and created to rule over his own seed has left and has caused every last one of you all to error. But they put that, the way that y'all should see how these men that's leading these multitudes on this devil platform, especially the Hebrew Israelite movement, they got y'all telling y'all a bunch of stuff. And I'm like saying to Father, but they telling them that, but it's clearly in this book. They can read that even that could be a lie. He said, but they don't care about a lie. They don't want the truth. You see, I figured it had to have been something, because I'm like, but that's plainly seen. That's plainly said. We're clearly seen where you can grip that. They don't want it. They want the lie instead of the truth. And that's why I say I can salute the Most High Yah in everything he says, because I'm a living prophet, but I'm not dead. You see, not yet. So I'm saying that I can understand everything he has prophesied. I'm here on the earth to salute that it all is real, because he's teaching me how to see it in the light and in spirit and truth, as he teach me spirit and truth. Okay. So I liked it that. And let me show you. Let me show you something else. Let's drop down to Acts chapter 4 and verse 29. In Acts verse 4 and verse 29, it says, and now, Lord, behold their threatenings, and grant unto your servants that with all boldness that they may speak thy word. Thy word. Now, do you see the word? What word is that? It's not this book he's talking about. You get what I'm saying? I've told you all over and over, this book is not it. The word. Now listen to what he's saying. They're asking him to grant them in verse 29. And now, Lord, behold their threatenings, and grant unto thy servants that with all boldness they may speak the word. Why isn't it words with an S? Why isn't they saying words with an S? Because as you study this instructions and direction book, you will learn the difference between the words and the word. There's a big difference, you guys. And a lot of people don't teach the word, they teach the words. Because for them to really get in it and find out the word, then they would have to go back and correct everything they ever taught. By the word, they will correct the words. You see? And this is what people are escaping. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you all. They are escaping it, and they have escaped it because it's everything is over, y'all. How could it be over and people want it to start? No, baby, it's over. He's not coming down to restart everything so you can get it. Because if you think about, like I said, the Exodus, in Exodus, how he brought them out, he didn't bring them out. Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, none of them brought the Israelites out. It was the right hand and the stretched out arm, and the whole host of heaven led them out and brought them through all the way to the wilderness. You see? And if you go back and you start hearing the right hand and the stretched out arm, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to say, but why ain't nobody ever taught that? It's because you never wanted to hear it. And now you're in the end days and everybody waiting for him to come and do what he did in the first Exodus. And what they don't understand, you didn't understand the first Exodus because you never recognized the power that brought you out. You denied the power they're in. And here we are waiting for the second Exodus and still don't even care about the fact, in order for us to come out, who's going to bring us out? They thinking ships, planes, that right hand and that stretched out arm that brought Israel out of the bondage of who? Pharaoh is the same right hand and stretched out arm that's going to bring us out. The second Exodus. The second Exodus. And then I learned something else, you guys. The same stretched out arm and the right hand of the Father is all power. It's the same stretched out arm and right hand that put you in. It's the same one that'll bring you out. Oh, yeah. And the danger of the both, these two are no play. There's no play. Now, say if we've been in captivity 40 years and we know that there is an Exodus, we should be praising that right hand and that stretched out arm that brought us out the first time. But we ain't got the sense. We ain't got sense. We don't know nothing. We haven't been taught to respect the power of the Father's right hand. He should be getting glory, honor, and praise. He should be getting magnified so you can get your tail up out of here. But you ain't looking for giving him none of that because you don't know who brought the first Exodus out. That was the power of the right hand and the stretched out arm. And he used the whole host of heaven. It wasn't Moses and Aaron, and this is what the mentality of their mind. Moses and Aaron led us out. You crazy people. You crazy, crazy, crazy people. How could Moses and Aaron lead you out? How did they part the sea? How did they drown the army? How did they get you from one destiny to the other? In daytime and in nighttime did you travel? On dry land over an ocean. Come on now. See the stupidity? But this is how they teach you all. That's how they've been teaching. And they ain't going to stop. And it's okay. It's over. You don't have to stop teaching people stupidity and them loving your stupidity. It's over. And the same thing with the second Exodus. I'm not too geared with a boat coming to get me in a plane. Wait a minute. That's not what I saw in the first Exodus. I'm looking for the right hand and the stretched out arm of the Most High Yah, taking me from one level to Mount Zion. All this nonsense, kick that crap to the curb. And this is what he means when he said denying the power therein. We want all the miracles and signs. We want all the blessings. We want to pray. We want to be blessed. We want all this, but we don't want the power and the right hand to be in the midst. Why? Because we never knew of it. We never cared to know. We want to look at man and woman and believe everything they say and do and mimic them. But we don't want the power to show us or to show up and show out. I've seen it too many times to stand here and tell you that I don't know it since I was 4 years old. Why would I stand here and tell you I don't know nothing about the power and the stretched out arm, the right hand? That's crazy. When I saw it for myself, come on now. Come on now. And the thing about it with the Son of Man, he broke that thing down over and over and over and over, telling us what you see in these miracles and signs, it's not me, it's my Father. What do you mean? Deborah, tell them that's the Son of Yah. That's what they call Christ. That's Hamashiach, which is the Father's right hand. That's on the right hand of the throne. You see? Now, when you get to Acts chapter 4 and verse 31, when I got to Acts chapter 4 and verse 31, it reads, and when they had prayed, the place was shaken where they were assembling together. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost. And they spoke the word. Wait a minute. How did they speak the word? They didn't have the book. How could they have spoken the word? They didn't have the book. You get what I'm saying, y'all? Now listen to what it says. They received the Holy Ghost and they spoke the word of Yah with power. The word of Yah is Yah, the Most High God, the creator of all things. He is the word. And they spoke the word. You notice it's not an S behind it. So when you read in the words, it's different than the word. See, they had sense enough to know to tarry and wait for the teacher to come to teach them the word. You see, people today, 99.9 ain't tarried for the word because they so indulged in listening to all these people on all these platforms saying and teaching and preaching words. But to understand the words, you got to pull up with the word. Because the only one know the words is the word. You see? And when he pull up with the word, he coming with light to show you that this word is true. This word is not. They put this in, they put this in, they put this in. That's what the word pull up and do. And that's what they did in the day of Pentecost. They spoke the word with boldness. Why? When the Holy Ghost came upon them. And I say unto you, you go around here teaching and preaching, and the Holy Ghost is not in you. You cannot speak the word without the Holy Ghost. Because the word that comes with the Holy Ghost is backed up by that power. And the power is the right hand and the stretched out arm of the Most High Yah that came down with the Son of Man in the mission of the Father. You see? So we can sit around and wait for all of this to come to pass, but it's over. And a lot of you are going to be really disappointed in the days to come. You're going to be very disappointed because it's not going to pan out like y'all want it to pan out. It's not going to go like y'all wanted or y'all thought, or that your pastor or your leader and all these people out here been teaching you. It's not going to go that way. And if you know the way, go your way. Don't go the way of people who are not leading the way. Because if they leading the way, you best bet they better have some light in their right hand. And they better have some spirit and truth. If they don't have that, then you ain't got no business following them. What did Paul say? Follow me as I follow what? Anybody know? What did Paul say? Follow me as I follow who? Anybody know what Paul was saying? And if you know the verse, pull it up. Follow me as I follow who? Follow me as I follow who? Anybody in the live chat? Follow me as I follow who? I give you time. Let me go and pull it up. I don't know. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Christ. You see that? Thank you so much. You see that? That's how easy it is. He said, follow me as I follow Christ. Now, we know that he said Christ. What happened to Yeshua? What happened to Jesus? What happened to Yeshua? What happened to Jesus? Now, who is this Christ? Who is the Christ? And you know what I do feel good about, you guys? I really feel good that the disciples had it. They had it to the T. Yeah, it ain't that I didn't think they did. It ain't that I didn't think they would have it. But I can say again, they are truly my brothers. Because they got it like the Father has given it to me. The right hand power. There you go. There you go. The right hand power. There it is. So he wasn't saying follow the Son of Man. Follow him as he followed the Son of Man. He said, follow me as I follow the right hand power. That's it. You see? Why? Because the power is the Father. Very good. Very good. The right hand power. That's all he was saying. That's what he was telling them. And the whole world don't know nothing about it. And even though you put down here, you got down here Christ and you got the right hand. But one thing I'm going to tell you, you might not know. You got about 90% of people that don't know that. They don't know that. And that's what's kind of, to me, off balance. And I'm telling y'all, without the spirit of discernment and the spirit of endurance, long suffering and endurance, not the spirit of discerning, without the spirit of not discerning, of long suffering and endurance, the spirit of endurance, I don't know where I'll be. Because I'm like hearing this Ruach teaching me from the inside, taking me to the wilderness, teaching me this. And I'm like saying, but they ain't doing this. They don't know did, Father. He said, but Deborah, look, that ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm teaching you from the wilderness. And he knows I salute all that stuff. I even get up in class and raise my hand, but all day long. I don't do it no more. But I wanted to know the truth of the whole matter. I ask questions. You know, they used to say, you're not supposed to question, use a lie. He's the only one with the answer. How dare you tell me I'm not supposed to question the one that holds all answers? Do that make any sense? You see, but this is how they mold and taught us to trust in their words, the way they teach, the way they preach, the way they minister. You see, is so you don't supposed to question God. Wait a minute. He the only one has the answer. And that's how I put it before. I said, when I ain't nobody else know the answer. He said, I know it. You ask questions, man can't answer no way. So I'm going to always be there to teach you and let you know. And that's when he started taking me to the wilderness. And I think it was what? It's been longer than he's been taking me longer than almost 30 years, y'all. I kid y'all not. He been taking me to the wilderness to teach me. Because he really shot into me when I was doing them study. I was in the Bible, you guys, writing down all kind of verses and scriptures and just making sure I knew all of the scriptures by heart and the verses. And he came to me, he asked me, what are you doing? Also, I'm reading. He said, when you wake up, all day you be at the table until midnight reading. He said, what you doing all that for? Didn't I tell you I'm going to be your teacher? What's all that for? I said, because you told me I was a prophetess. So I wanted to be able to, when people come and they talk to me and they ask me questions, I want to be able to tell them what scripture, what verse to go to. He schooled me real good, y'all. That's why I ain't going to play with you. I ain't going to get on this devil platform and play with you and tell you a lie. Let me tell y'all, he told me, he said, I didn't ask you to do that. I was like, he said, I didn't ask you to do that. You've been doing that for a whole week. I didn't ask you to do that. He said, all I said is told you that you are my prophet. So what's all that? He said, and I told you I will be your teacher. So why are you doing all that? I said, because if people come to me and I want to be able to tell them where it's at. He said, but how you going to tell them where it's at when I'm going to be in you? I'm going to be greater in you than what you can show them in this book. See, he had to school me. He had to teach me that he is greater than a book itself. He said, you don't see no scriptures where a prophet nor a prophetess had to study a book to tell the people what the book is saying. He said, find out about the other prophetess in the Bible. He said, but furthermore, stop it right now. That's how he shot it to me. We ain't gonna have this. We ain't gonna have this. And I'm gonna tell y'all something he told me, which might help a lot of y'all. Let me tell you what he told me. He said, let me tell you something. He said, people will come to you, Deborah, asking you questions. The first thing they would say, where's the scripture? Show me it in verse. He said, it's a trap. He said, it's a trap. You can show it to them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses. And when you leave that person, it is not going to matter. Don't ever let anyone trap you in chapters and verse. And that was like 30 years, probably a little over 30 years ago when he told me that. He said, no. That's why he didn't want me to study trying to memorize this book. That ain't it, Deborah. That's not it. You see? And he was saying that if anybody ever, you know what he said to me? He said, if anybody ever come upon you, that's what he said. I'm telling y'all what the Spirit of the Most High y'all said. He said, if anybody ever come upon you and ask you, where is the scripture? Give me the scripture. Tell me the verse so I can read it, so I can search it. Have no part with them. I never knew what he meant by that. Did y'all know that? I never knew what he meant until this day and time. Because this showing you, when they asking for verses and chapters and scriptures, it's vain and vexed. What scripture, verse, and chapter did the 12 disciples have? What scripture, verse, and chapter did the prophets Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah have? You get what I'm saying? He just blew me all up. And I mean, I felt kind of shame because I had forsaken my family. I'm a mother that cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner when they're at home during the summer. But if they don't have they eat at school, but I have their dinner ready. I mean, I was just that type of person. Make sure the house is clean, make sure everything together. You see what I'm saying? I shut down on all that just to study the book. And he had to back me up and back me out. And I give him all glory and honor. Because greater is he than he that reads this book. So he was explaining to me, and I did. When he said that to me, that made me feel good. You know why it made me feel good? It made me feel that, wait a minute, you mean you invested something in me that people can just come to me and talk to me, and I ain't gonna have to give them verses and scriptures? And guess what, y'all? That's was it. He don't want nobody approaching me with scriptures and verses and chapter. Why? Because the type of boldness he put in me, I deal with them where they at. Speak to what they bring before me. That's how Deborah had them lined up, coming to hear her judgment on situations, or her ideal of what they should do. It's because when you are led by the Ruach, which is the creator himself, and his spirit is in you and have taught you, who can come up against that? Who can come up with that type of power? That's why Paul say, follow me as I follow Christ, not the Son of Man. Follow me as I follow the scriptures. Follow me as I follow Torah. No, follow me as I follow the power. How about that? How about that? Because when it's said and done, not a verse in here gonna save you. So it's, you got to have something in your spirit that can defeat anything that come upon you. And if you're running, finding, trying to find scriptures and verses, talking about to prove, to justify, to clarify, and identify, that's it. Don't let nobody come upon you like that. And you know what? When he told me that, that's how I have lived my life. And people ask me, what school do you go to? What degree did you get? What church you go to? Can give me the address. I want to go to the church you go to. See, I never poured out scriptures. I never poured out my Bible, y'all, to prove my point or to prove what I'm saying or and guess what? It was just like the Father said. What are you doing? Who told you to do that? He was asking me, why are you doing all that? I mean, it was like you're doing too much. For what? This thing is spirit. It don't answer to no book. It don't answer to no chapter. It don't answer to no verse. You see? So he was just warning me, because this is what the world does. They trap you in chapters and verses. But when the Ruach pull up, it'll knock the verse and the chapter out the ballpark. You see? And it'll make everything stand still. You see? So therefore, when you think of the 12 disciples and all the prophets and all of them, they wasn't getting no book. They weren't pulling up scriptures and verses. You see the game they play today? Everybody wants you to, what does the Bible say? Where is it in scriptures? What do the Bible say? What do the Bible say? What did it say? It said for you to do this. That's how you got so many denominations and so many religions and so many interpretations and so many different beliefs. It's because they're using the outer words because they don't have the inner word. You see the difference? The outer words with the S, because they don't have the inner word. And this is what they battle you with. So they tend to battle you and knock you across your head, get you submissive, get you in order, have you in fear. There's two fears. Did y'all know that? There's two fears. There's a spiritual fear. It's when you spiritual fearful, it's you fear of Yah. Now, what about your natural fear? You got that too. Let somebody run up on you and you don't expect them. You're going to be scared. That's a fear. But he said, I didn't give you the spirit of fear, but a sound mind. He's letting you know my fear is not the fear that is of the world. It's of a sound mind. And that sound mind, let me tell you something. Pull up in that bad boy. You're going to know something. You're going to know something. you're going to know the reason why Yah has branded the spirits of those who have the spirit of fear of him. Because he's invested such great things in them to know and to walk therein. So we go into Ezekiel. Let's go into let me just first go to Psalms 136. Let's go to Psalms 136. And what I have come to fully understand, that same power that puts you, that deliver you, is the same one can put you in. It's the same power that pulls you out. Okay, it's that same right hand and stretched out arm, the Father's power. So if you seen how Yeshua, not sure, Paul said, follow me as I follow the power. He didn't say the Son of Man, Yeshua, nor Jesus. He said, but follow me as I follow the power. Your bad butt be in trouble. You coming around here trying to follow the Son of Man. You were supposed to mimic his walk and how we are to walk before Yah, like unto him. But that power is the right hand of the Father. You follow that. Because that same power that can put you in a situation is the only power that can pull you out. That same power that puts you in captivity is the same power going to pull your tail out. Y'all better recognize him. Y'all better try to get to know him as all power, not as some power, because man didn't give you no power, so you shouldn't have none. And that's the mentality and the mindset of people. If it ain't coming from a man, then it ain't really, it don't mean nothing. That's why no fear is there, because they haven't received the spirit of fear of the Most High Yah. That was one of the brands before he sent them down his seat. He gave all of them the spirit of fear. He branded in their spirit. So don't mess with me. Okay. So in Psalms 136 and verse 12. In Psalms 136, wait a minute. Yeah. Ooh, Psalms go a long ways. 136 and verse 12. Let's see what this is saying. With a strong hand, with a stretched out arm, for his mercy endure forever. That's the Most High Yah I'm talking about, y'all. This is what they didn't teach you all. This is what you all didn't know about. That was in Genesis in the beginning when he was saying that power was bringing it forth. When the word spoke, the power pulled up. Genesis 1 verse 3, all the way down to when he got to Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Let us now make man in our image and in our likeness. And Yah made man, he and her, them. He was talking to his power, y'all. His power was Christ. His power was the Hamashiach. That same power Paul told me, follow me as I follow this power. He was talking about the power that was in the beginning. That created all things. The Son of Man wasn't the power, y'all. He was an angel made little lower than all the angels to die, to come to the earth as a flesh born of a woman. Flesh to die as for the flesh of all man's sin. He was an angel made a little lower than the other angels for that purpose. But the Son of Yah came off the throne. That was the right hand of the Father, called Christ, called Hamashiach, his only begotten, his beloved. Okay, so listen to this. In Psalms 136, 136 and verse 12. Listen to this. This is the same right hand and stretched out arm I've been telling y'all about. Sit down one day, pull up in Google, pull up the right hand of God in King James Version. And then you'll see it. You'll say, I didn't it was in here this many times. That's how long you ain't known that the power came with the word, and the word is the power, and the power is the word. That's how lost you been. And if you think you're getting up out of here, out of the land of your captive, you ain't getting up out. Only one gonna bring you out is the same power to put you in. It will bring you out. And that's why everybody is loony right today, because they think everything is in their power to say whatever they want to say and put out there before the people all kind of lies and deception. Oh, it's our power, baby. It ain't your power. You ain't doing nothing but the way the power in the kingdom has orchestrated it. See, that's what everybody don't know. You don't rule nothing. Only thing you control is your bowels. When you got to use the bathroom, you get your tail in there and use it. Outside of that, you don't rule nothing. He sniffed that life out of you, you fall straight down. Then where is your life? Where is your living? This is my life. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I live my life. No, baby, you ain't got no life. You're just too ignorant to know it. You living on his breath of life. You got a living. That's about it. And it's destiny. Once you live in the flesh, oh, it ain't going nowhere but to the grave. Okay. Now in Psalms 36 and verse 12, it reads, with a strong hand and with a stretched out arm, for his mercy endure forever. You see what I'm saying, y'all? What is it that you forgot? What is it you didn't know? What is it you don't know? This is the same right hand that created everything in Genesis 1. He said, if you miss Genesis 1, you'd have missed this whole study guide. That means you don't know nothing. And this is why he said denying the power, because we have denied his power. And that's why we're looking stupid now, talking about he's coming to get us. Wasn't the same power to put you where you at, it's the same one going to bring you out. So why haven't you had no respect for it? You're hoping for it to bring you out. Why don't you respect that? Why don't you honor that? Why don't you praise that power? Why don't you glorify that power? Why don't you recognize that power? I know it. The man didn't teach you. Your idol God didn't teach it to you. Okay. So here in Psalms 36 and verse 12. Now, remember me telling you all think that Moses and Aaron brought the children out of Egypt, and led the children out of Egypt. Y'all get that thing right. See, I don't trust in nobody doing nothing that over succeed the right hand of the Father. Can't nobody outride that. Nobody. It sits on the throne with the Father. It's his right hand. So how are we down here overriding it? Now, watch this. Let's go down to verse 13. We in Psalms 136. We read verse 12, revealing to you his power. Now watch this. Let's go to verse 13. To him which divided the sea into parts, for his mercy endure forever. Who's that divided that sea? That right hand. That stretched out arm. You see? That's what he did for Egypt. That's what he did for the house of Israel. He divided the sea. And he parted with that right hand and that stretched out arm. But did you know that? No, you didn't. A lot of people think Aaron and Moses brought them out, led them out. You see how the Father was showing up and showing out with his right hand and his stretched out arm, and you all missed it all this time? And it was way back in the beginning in Exodus 1. In Exodus, in the first Exodus out of Egypt. Here you are looking for the second one, and you don't know nothing about the first one. Well, how are you going to come out the second one? The same way you came out the first one. By that right hand and stretched out arm that you never given any glory to, no praise to, no honor, no respect. But yet you're saying he's going to bring you out. All you concerned about is coming out. But wait a minute, hold up. How you coming out? How he going to bring you out? And as you see in Psalms 136, verse 12 and 13, 12 is telling you with a right hand and a stretched out arm. It's strong. That's what it's saying. That's the Father's power. that was present in the beginning in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, Genesis chapter 1, verse 6, Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, 9, Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, and on and on and on, was the word spoke and the power brought all things forth. So when he decided to make man, he said, let us now make man in our image and in our likeness. He's talking to his own right hand, the power, which the world now don't even know. That was his only begotten, his beloved that he sent down with the Son of Man. And he called it the Son of Yah, meaning Yah, Emmanuel, Yah with you. Why? Because it's his only power that he sent down with the Son of Man. And man didn't just come down with the word. He came down with the power. Why? Because they're hand in hand. Just like your left and your right hand. He speak it and his power bring it forth. Your mind think it, say it, and your hands bring it forth. Why can't we recognize him to be all power in the heavens and on the earth? He created everything. Everything you see come from that right hand and that stretched out arm. Oh, I forgot. They didn't teach y'all. But here we are in the end day, in the midnight hour, in the last days. And we sitting here thinking he going to come out and do some miracles and signs and wonders on our behalf. And we have no respect for him. We never did, y'all. I go back and I say unto you over and over and over. He said, if you miss Genesis 1, you missed the whole book of your study guide. That means you are lost with the cause and without. You are those people that's out in that ocean, cannot see dry land because you went too far deep. And that's how powerful it is. Like the lady that called me regarding her son. Her sons. How you going to call me and talk like that? You got the wrong one. But you found that out. Okay. Let's go to Psalms 144. Let's cover Psalms 144 and verse 7. And then we're going to go over a few verses that Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah spoke of the power. When I go into Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, they talking all kind of stuff to us today. And none of y'all want to take forward, take, how would I say it? Take to our bosom and accept what they're saying. Because you want these faces on these platforms to be your leader and your teacher and your guide. When you are born of the Spirit, you don't look for the flesh to lead and guide you. You look for the Spirit because the Spirit is within. It leads you from that level. You think the Spirit led me since I was 4 years old from my flesh? No, he led me from the Spirit. From the inside did he lead me and guide me and showed me things. Oh, y'all, let me tell you something. He showed me some things. Let me tell you. These movies they got today ain't got nothing on what the Father showed me as a little girl. And I used to ask him, why are you letting him do this, torment me like this? Never knew why, because of who I am today. That's why. Okay, I can tell you something. So in Psalms 144, when you get into Psalms 144 and verse 7, let's see what's going on here. In Psalms 144 and verse 7, send thy hand from above. Wait a minute, hold up, Father. Y'all hold up. You're going too deep. Don't go there like that. You just pour it on in. Hold up. Let me kind of get in that thing. Hold up, Father. Don't get on them right now. Hold up. Let me kind of usher it in. No. Listen to it. Psalms 144 and verse 7. Send thy hand from above. This is the one I've been telling y'all about that you don't have, but you think you're holier than thou. You think you got the Ruach HaKodesh. You think you got the Spirit of the Most High Yah. You think you are called, appointed, and anointed in all type of position, don't have no power, none whatsoever, because you don't know where the power is at. Even Paul said, follow me as I follow the power. You see, he didn't say the scriptures. He didn't say Torah. He didn't say the new or the old. He said, as I follow the power. Because if your tail think you can rumble on this earth and be, or a prophet. A prophet is a teacher, a pastor, a bishop, a Maureen, a seer, a priest, what is it? Whatever, a prophet, a prophetess. If you think you can be with that without the power, you are a hell of a Satan's position. Satan gave you a real good position to his, because most of them, 99.9, don't have the power. They don't even know what the power is, what it look like, what it feel like. This sister know. This sister seen it. And when you see the power, you see Yah. You see the Most High Yah when you see that power. When that power pull up on your chair, you done seen Yah face to face. And that's what people don't understand. That's what Jacob was trying to explain to y'all. I've seen him face to face. You sure have when you saw that power pull up to save you. When Esau was coming after you and your family, you knew you was gone. And you told the father, I ain't going to sleep until you bless me. When you woke up, you was delivered. So you saw something in what you was going through in that wrestling with that angel and so on. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that power pull up on your behalf. That's when you seen him face to face. I've seen him 4 years old, and I'm 63 now. And guess what, y'all? I've seen him too many times face to face. That's why I won't take heed to what you're saying. I won't take heed to what you're doing. I won't take heed to the way you think. I won't take heed to the way you feel. I've been walking with him for too long to turn back in a way that's not upright, just, and righteous in him. Okay, so this one here is verse 7. Psalms 144 and verse 7. Send thy hand from above. Wait, hold up. It's coming from above, Father Yah. Deborah. Rid me and deliver me out of a great waters, from the hand of the strange children. From the hands of a strange children. That's what David was saying. What was David asking for? He was a mighty soldier. He defeated many armies. What is David talking about? Deliver me with that hand from above. David knew too, y'all. David's my brother. He knew exactly what I know. He knew exactly. Paul knew what I know. That's why I don't let nobody tell me Paul ain't real. Don't tell me Paul ain't real. Yah is real. And if Yah is real, Paul is real. Why? Because Paul said things that Yah didn't taught me without him. So don't tell me Paul ain't real. Don't tell me Solomon ain't my brother either. He's my brother. But see, what they don't understand, we are the spiritual seeds. We ain't the flesh seeds. So therefore, you can't count us out. He already done let us know through scriptures after scriptures, through your instructions and your direction book, I'm going to hold them blameless. Oh, those were my seed. I'm going to hold them blameless. See? That's why we can't focus on people and the way they see and perceive him and think of him and try to make us who they are. No, you can't do us like that. We the bold ones. And there are those that's bolder than I am. They already out here cutting up. Oh, you don't know about it because you on these devil platform, waiting for all these people to come on here and tell you what's what. And all they doing is feeding you trash out of the darkness. So what I want to do is I want to hear something from Isaiah, but let me hear Ezekiel. Let me hear Ezekiel first, and then I go to Isaiah. I want to hear Ezekiel. No, I don't want to hear Ezekiel. Let me go on here at Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. All of these prophets were telling you about the right hand. You see? All these prophets were telling you. And y'all missed it. Why? Because man ain't told you. Man ain't told you nothing. And you go by what you heard in these churches or in these camps, in this Hebrew. I'm going to tell y'all something. One group that will deceive you is your own nation, the Hebrew Israelite movement. They will deceive you up and down. Because they didn't wait. They didn't tarry for the Ruach. They just found out who they were and took off running. Found out who they were and took off running. And when they took off running, they left all power behind. They left all spiritual wisdom behind, y'all. They left all spiritual knowledge behind. They left all spiritual understanding behind. And they just went ahead with their fleshly spirit wisdom, their fleshly knowledge, and their fleshly understanding. They never tarried for the Ruach to lead and guide them. And this is what the Hebrew Israelite movement did. that's so wrong and so negative to their own tribe, to their own tribe. That's why they can pull up with polygamy and all this abomination and trying to put women under the feet so that the women can be this. I didn't want to feel sad because the Father don't want me to feel sad for these brothers. And that when I heard this one brother who stick with these other brothers and talking about bad about women and putting them under their feet and they not supposed to do this, they not supposed to, he is hurting so bad. I said, that's what he get. That's what he get. You sit there and y'all support Dowds and his polygamy and all this nonsense. Now Dowds is on front, y'all going up against him. But this is the problem. He's upset because they got this new thing out. I don't know if you all heard it. It's called soft men. He's against black men saying that they're soft men. All of them joining it, y'all. These black men joining it. And you know what it means? It's soft men is men that no longer is going to be strong. They're going to be soft to the point where women, they're not taking care of women no more. So they're not going to take you out to eat. They're not going to take you out. They're not going to do anything. You have to do it to them. So they reversing, like Sister Deborah said and gave y'all that good lesson about a man already. I had no idea about it. But I kept hearing this one guy keep whining. I said, why he keep whining? You know, you running around here talking about these men, they leaders, they rulers and guides. Now you understanding they haven't been nothing but the weak link to life. They are the weak link to life, and you don't still get it. He gets it now. You know why he get it? He's trying to understand why all these people, he got a lot of subscribers, why are they going up against him? Because he's against soft men. He feel that men still need to be men and not soft. Soft is what they're saying is they're not going to pay bills no more. They're not going to take care of their children. They're not going to do anything. They're going to let the women take care of them, take them out to eat. No more money for women. Oh, it's a lot of negative, y'all. But he seems to feel like the LGBTQRD or whatever they are, put that out. I don't care if they did put it out. Sister Deborah put out a video telling you men, they lost. I just put out a video telling you all that the judgment of Yah is on the tribe of Judah's men. And I'm hearing this brother crying. And I mean, he's been doing it for the last week, y'all. He cannot believe that the men are taking this choice. He cannot believe. He said, what has happened to us? And I'm sitting here saying, he can't believe it. Not only them. Now, y'all got to understand, this is this macho guy. Tough and bad. Or we leaders, we rulers, we king, we the head, we the this. Now they going soft on me. And that's what it's called, you guys. I know y'all don't know about it. It's called soft men. Okay? It's called soft men. That's what the men are. And he's disappointed because other guys on YouTube are taking to it. They say they joining it. They're going to be doing the same thing. And it hurts him because he's letting them know, y'all, behind that is the LBGY, whatever. The you know what I'm talking about. Behind all that, that's a gay thing. And they still taking to it, baby. They found, that's why I say men, the men of Judah are not melanated men. They are not good leaders at all. They don't have the mindset to be leaders. And the power of who Yah is, let me tell you, they couldn't handle that. They could not handle. And I told y'all that message I gave you telling you that the men got the highest position. I had no idea that they start this new thing called soft men. I go look on his name is New Breed, and he was whining, and this man is so hurt because he cannot believe even all those people in his live chat, they was talking against him, and it was just, you can tell that was just not the norm for him. But people don't understand. People are not walking in light, y'all. They are walking in darkness. People are not telling spirit and truth. They're deceiving you by great numbers. So you can't get with these different groups of men thinking you're going to walk into some light. No, they leading you only in darkness where the pleasure of their flesh can be manifested. That's all they care about. They don't care about tomorrow, the lake of hell, or the kingdom of heavens, or the promised land. No, tribe of Judah ain't thinking about the kingdom. Tribe of Judah ain't thinking about anything righteous. And I try to explain that to y'all over and over. But now the Father said, Deborah, you don't have to explain nothing to nobody no more. It's over. My judgment already hit the land. When they start feeling it, like Noah was building that ark and that rain started, they still didn't take it serious until they got to where it didn't stop. This is what got to happen to them, because they ain't gonna see nothing. They don't even understand that we are in that. They don't even grip that. They just think this is the day that they prosper, get this, and get women submissive, and they enjoy pleasure and lust and sex trafficking and all this old mess. They never did understand the wickedness of the forefathers that been messing with their own children way from the beginning. He said they don't remember none, they don't know nothing about all of that, because they missed all the stuff that they should have been learning while they was in the promised land. Not in the promise, in the wilderness. I mean, in the land of their captives. And he said they didn't learn none of it. None of it did they learn. None of it. So they had even time to learn Genesis 1. He said they didn't care about that. They still don't care about it. So let me go and we're going to hear one chapter from Ezekiel, one from Isaiah, and maybe two from Jeremiah. So we're going to Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse, Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse, Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. Let's see what he's saying about this, a right hand and stretched out arm here. Ezekiel chapter 14. In Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9, let's see what he's saying here. Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. And if the prophet be received when he has spoken a thing, I, Ahiah, has deceived that prophet. Now listen to this here again. Let's get that right. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, I, Ahiah, have deceived that prophet, and will stretch out my right hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people. You see what he's saying? The same right hand. The same right hand. He's letting you know that right hand of who he is will destroy a prophet that is deceitful. That right hand. See, that's what y'all don't understand. He don't need you to destroy him. He will destroy him. Listen here. Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, Ahiah, will have deceived. Wait, I, Ahiah, have deceived the prophet, and will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of Israel. Now, see what he's saying? I like that. That's what's going on today, y'all. That is exactly what's going on. Let's see. Oh, Father, why'd you do that? Oh, I shouldn't have asked that. Oh, I better wait till I get to the wilderness. Oh, I just caught what he just said. Y'all didn't get it, did you? Did it go over your head? Let me read it again. Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, watch this, I, Ahiah, have deceived that prophet. So while you got all these people on these devil platforms saying that they are prophets, you got them in the church, you got them teaching. Now, y'all got to understand, a prophet in what he's speaking is also a teacher. He's talking about a teacher as well. But what he's saying is they are deceiving. But guess what, Deborah? I have made them deceive. Now, see, I got a blessing tonight. Because what he just saying to me is, why you concerned about all those people out here that's lying, saying they prophets and they teachers, they pastor and all this, leave them alone. Get in your lane. Get in your lane. They deceiving many because I deceived them. That's what he's talking about. The Most High is saying, I deceived these prophets. If a prophet is deceiving, it's because I deceived. I created him to deceive. And then what happens? And I will stretch out my hand and upon him and will destroy him from the midst of Israel, the people, my people of Israel. You see, that's where we at today, y'all. This is what a lot of people are whining about. This is what a lot of people are saying. And y'all is saying, y'all, guess what? The same one that caused that deceiver to come up among y'all is the same one that's going to destroy. I build Pharaoh up just to bring him down. Y'all don't get it. Shoot. That mighty right hand. So what he's going to pull up to destroy? What he's going to pull up? I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him that is among my people. So all these people that's running around here trying to teach Israel, guess what? They're going to be destroyed. Y'all thought they was coming out. Y'all thought they was getting on the ship and going to the promised land, on the plane, going to the promised land. All Israel going out of here. Oh, no. Go back to Ezekiel. All these prophets that is among Israel that are deceiving Israel, the Father said, they good work, but leave them alone, Deborah, leave them alone. Leave them right where they at. I put them there to deceive Israel. That's what he's saying. He put them there. Why? Because I'm going to destroy that bad boy right in the midst of Israel. So y'all go on these devil platforms and teach these people lies. Teach these people how they don't have to glorify and exalt and magnify the Most High Yah. They can magnify you all and glorify your page and subscribe and like to you and financial support you and do all that with you. But yet they give no glory to the Father, but gives it to you. Okay. He's going to destroy them. That's what he's doing. See, that's something y'all don't pay no attention to. That's what he's doing. And I like what he said about that right hand. What did he say? I will stretch out my hand upon him and would destroy him from the midst of my people, Israel. See, y'all, but how you gonna destroy them? Ain't they going out? They got to make it to the promised land. They waiting for the prime. They waiting for you to take them out so they can get to the promised land. But Deborah, what did I just say? But Father, they waiting for you to get them out of here so they can go to the promised land. How they getting out then? See, y'all thinking everybody's going to escape with this wickedness and everybody's going because they teaching y'all everybody's going, y'all. Everybody's getting out of here. Y'all bent, not just up. Y'all bent down. He said a small remnant. And y'all thinking everybody's going. Sister Deborah don't even think she going. Why? Because I think I will be asleep. I think I will be asleep. Not like it's a long time. I'm not saying that. Not like it's a long time from now. But I just think that I would be. You see? So let's go to Isaiah chapter 65. I like that, Ezekiel. I like that. I like that pulled up right on time. He started off saying the prophet that deceived the house of Israel. I put you there. With this right hand, I place you there. And with this right hand, I'm going to destroy you right there. Ooh, they don't know nothing about that, Father. They don't know nothing about, these people don't know nothing about that. They don't know about that. That's why I tell y'all messed up on the floor when you never did your study on the right hand and the stretched out arm. Once you hear about the right hand and stretched out arm, you'll wonder, why did they teach us all these lies? While you're waiting for the heathens and Gentiles to say, and their fathers taught them lies. Let me tell you something, baby. He just showed you an example how the prophet's going to be amongst the house of Israel, lying and deceiving you. So why ain't you up in Israel seeing the prophets deceive you while you're waiting for the heathens and Gentiles to say, oh, we're the people. Our fathers deceived, told us lies. Your own nation telling you lies. Wake up, people. No, you can't. I forgot. You ain't going to. Jacob said you wouldn't. Okay. So Isaiah chapter 65. Let's see what Isaiah is saying here. Isaiah chapter 65. And that's one thing I was telling y'all. I used to tell y'all all the time. Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, they telling y'all everything that's going on in Revelation. They telling you all kind of stuff that's pulling up. But y'all ignored all that because you're waiting for the ones that y'all put in there amongst you to deceive you. And if he put them, now listen to this. This is what I try to explain to people. If he put the deceivers there among you, he had to add those that will be deceived. He's not going to allow it to be deceivers amongst the house of Israel and they don't deceive Israel. He's only putting the deceiver so that the deceiver can deceive the house of Israel. So there got to be those that's looking to be deceived. That's the truth of the whole matter. Okay, Isaiah 65. In Isaiah chapter 65, listen to this here. Isaiah be cutting up too. And verse 2. Isaiah 65 and verse 2. Here we go again with that stretched out hand and that right arm. That stretched out arm and that hand, that right hand. But listen to this here. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 2. I have spread out my hands all the day until a rebellion people, which walk in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. You see, that's what's going on, you guys. That is what's going on right now. Y'all walking in your own thoughts. What did Sister Deborah just tell y'all less than 4 minutes ago? I just told you. There are those that's teaching you all their wisdom, their knowledge, and their understanding in their flesh. But there's an understanding, a wisdom, and a knowledge that's in the spirit. But what they are teaching you all is the wisdom and knowledge in the flesh. It can't compare to the spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is way, 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 way greater than the flesh. The flesh, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding, it has a great deal to do with those individuals' emotions, their feelings, their personal opinion, their self-centered, their proudness. You see, they teach you based on that. Now listen to what this is saying. Verse 2, Isaiah 65 and verse 2. I have spread out my hands all day unto a rebellion people, which walk in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. Their own thoughts is your own wisdom, your own knowledge, and your own understanding. And he called you rebellion people. He's talking about Israel. But y'all want to get on this devil platform and chase these people like they really giving you a full meal deal in the spirit realm. And they ain't giving you nothing but a dark, burnt plate full of trash. And you are so content with whatever they put on the plate and believe it. Now, he just told you in Ezekiel, when you got a false prophet, a prophet that's deceiving you, I want to let y'all know, I put them there. The Father tell you, that same right hand that's going to destroy him is the same right hand that put him in the midst of you. Why? Because you are worth being deceived. You come down here to be deceived. So I put you right. It's just like the two trees. Tree of life and tree of knowledge and good and evil. Then he put Adam right dead in the midst of them. Knowing that he was going to take the tree of knowledge and good and evil, which leads to the lake of fire. He knew that. See, don't mess with this creator, y'all. Don't think that you got something over him and you can overpower him. You don't know how tough and bad and powerful that right hand stretched out arm is. He ain't one that plays. Now he's sitting here telling you that I have spread out my hands all the days until a rebellion people. He's letting Israel know I have always had a hand spread out to y'all. All these days you've been on the earth. That's what I did. Until a rebellion people, even though you've been rebellion, which walk in a way that was not good. And you run around here thinking y'all all that because you the true Jews. We the true Jews. We the righteous ones. We the children of the Most High. Yeah, we Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How foolish do you sound? He's calling you stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient. He's talking about you ain't never done nothing good. But yet you wants to be somebody to the world. You know what, y'all? It's better for you to seek the face of Yah and be right with him than to be right with anybody. Your co-workers, your job, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brothers, your neighbors, your friends. You might as well get right all the way with the Most High Yah. Be right with him. Because I'm going to tell you something. Anytime a creator can say that I put them prophets in the midst of the house of Israel to deceive them. And then when they finish you deceiving them, I'm going to destroy them, Deborah. I'm like, but that's the work of the right hand and the stretched out arm, the power. Why? Because he created everything before anything was. It is. The power was in the kingdom before he created heaven and earth. Okay. So let's go to, let's go back to Isaiah 14 and 20. Let's go to Isaiah 14 and 26. Let's see what that said. Then we're going to go 2 scriptures to Jeremiah, and then we're done. Isaiah 14 and 26. Isaiah 14 and 26. In Isaiah 14 and verse 26. Isaiah 14 and verse 26. And what is it saying? This is the purpose that I purposed upon the whole earth. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 26. This is the purpose that I purpose upon the whole earth. Now you see what he said. This is the purpose that I purposed upon the whole earth. That's the same way when I was explaining to you all in the last video when he created man and man's purpose and his position. See, Yah created him to be a man. And the world telling him he ain't a man until I tell you you're a man. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to be king, leader, ruler, and this. But all the things that he shouldn't even be caught up in if he ain't understanding that my purpose in you is to take them living seeds I put in you, insert them, so that she can take it, incubate it, birth it, and I can give it life and a spirit. That's my will. That's my order. You see? And men are going around with men, dispersing the seeds that y'all put in his womb in the rectum of a man. See, y'all really think this thing is see, that's nobody want to talk about what spirit and truth. Nobody want to talk about the truth of the whole matter. Everybody want to talk under the table, around the table, and on top of the table, and on the corner of the table, but nobody want to sit in the center and tell the truth of the whole matter. This is the same way that's what I was telling y'all, the purpose of a man. If he only knew the power in his purpose position from the throne of the creator, it will blow his mind. He'll say, when I have failed for sure. You sure have, by a long shot. Okay, so here in Isaiah chapter, 14 and verse 26, it reads, this is the purpose that is purposed upon the earth. And this is the hand that stretched out upon all nations. This is the hand. How is that hand stretched out upon all nations? How is that hand stretched out? Let me tell you how that hand got stretched out upon all nations. He poured out grace and mercy on all of us with that mighty right hand. Grace and mercy is on all nations. That's what he gave us, y'all. Just so his will can walk itself from A to Z, he poured out grace and mercy. Say, okay, grace and mercy, hold these fools up until my will from A to Z is fulfilled. You running around here, and none of y'all, when you say your prayers, you don't consider the fact that he poured out grace and mercy on you and your family and everybody else on the earth. I make sure, Father, thank you for all that grace and mercy that you shed abroad on all of us. I just want to let you know, thank you. And we running around here think it's us, think it's about us. The reason why we who we are, because us, we, me. And he didn't have really had no other choice. Because he had a will. That will was wrote out before the foundation of the world. From A to Z. A represent the beginning, Z represent the end. It was already orchestrated in the kingdom before earth was even created. But before that can walk from A to Z, he got to pour out grace and mercy to hold our stupid tails up so that it can fulfill the beginning to the end. So that's why we end up with grace and mercy. And this is why it says in Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 26, and this is the hand that stretched upon all nations. That's that grace and mercy that right hand brought out upon us so that the will of the Father from A to Z can be fulfilled at the beginning to the end. So now we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 6. Let's see what Jeremiah have to say. And I'm telling you something, it's a really, y'all, once you pull up in that Bible, and when you pull up, go to Google and say, Google King James Version, right hand or hand, and see how many verses come up. And then you'll wonder, well, why they didn't teach us this? Why didn't they preach this to us? Then you go in and you say, okay, give me the stretched out arm. And you see all the verses, you're going to say, why they didn't tell us? You think Yah will say to you, when you get to the throne, they didn't tell you, oh, poor thing. No, it's plainly seen. You go on there, you go on Google and search all this other sick mess, but you won't search what spirit and truth has to give and has to offer. Oh, no, we want to search how you do this and how you do this. Okay, so in Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 12, what we're learning is about the right hand. And I'm going to sum that up real good for you, okay? Real good. I'm going to sum that thing up. Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 12. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 12. And you know what else, y'all? It just dawned on me. This is how the Gentiles and the other nations and the Europeans or whatever, this is how they're getting their information. They're studying this book, y'all. They're studying this book and coming up with the conclusion, and they're coming very close. That's why I was telling y'all, the part that really gets me confused is how is it they're able to pull out something closer to truth, and the Hebrew Israelites still in stupidity. Talking about we the true Jews, we the people, we the true Jews. We're really focusing on them saying that we are the true Jews and we are the children, or we are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed, and we are the true Jews. Then anything. We ain't trying to do right. We ain't trying to get right. We ain't trying to praise the Most High, glorify Him, exalt Him. We just want everybody to recognize, hey, I'm the true Jew. You a fool. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 12. In Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 12, it reads here, and their houses shall be turned unto others, with their fields and their wives together. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, said Yah. Said Yah. See, what he was sharing with me here was the same thing that they're looking to pull them out of situation, I'm the one with that same right hand have put them in the situation. Do y'all understand that? And I'm gonna tell you something, that's pretty powerful. Because what that's trying to let you see is the same creator that you blaming everybody for doing this to you and doing this and doing this. Hey, I'm the one. I'm doing it. Now what you got to say? I'm doing it. Now what you got to say? That's a position that melanated people are not ready for. They're not ready for the idea that, wait a minute, this is the right hand of the Father put us in this situation. They're not ready for this. That's why do y'all understand why the gate, he said, the gate that leads to life is narrow and very few shall find it? Well, I'm one that didn't found it. I found it a long time ago. But let me tell you this, that gate being narrow now, as I live on, it is a part like a comfort. You know how you put on a nice plush robe, it's a comfort to it. And that's what it does. I can run back to the narrow gate and say, this is why they don't know. This is why, because he made it this way. Taking it and giving it back to the one who created all things and made things the way that it is from A to Z, poured out grace and mercy on us so A to Z can be completed. Now, watch what it says here in Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 12. And their houses shall be turned into others, their fields and wives gathered. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, said Yah. Now, what he's also saying is trying to get you to understand that what he's doing is his right hand is doing these actions. It's him doing. It's all him doing it. It's him. So that's why I told y'all I salute Deuteronomy 28. I cannot turn around and say, well, the heathens, the Gentiles, or the Europeans, they did. Yeah, they did what they have done, but who was behind it? Who right hand caused this to be? Who right hand brought us here? Who right hand prophesied that we would be here thousands of years ago, and to today we still where he said we would be? Come on now. Because he is all that answer. We run around here trying to escape that right hand and don't understand that right hand is all power. That same power that brought you here into captivity is the only power that's going to bring you out. So why you in here and you thinking you getting away with something by not having respect for that power, not honoring that power, not respecting, not praising, not exalting. You think you doing something. That's what y'all doing. Y'all ain't giving him no praise, no glory, no honor. What Paul say, follow me as I follow this power. Don't follow me if I ain't following the power, because that's the only thing worth following. But y'all don't want to do that. You want to follow these people on this damn platform and thinking they're going to give you something on a plate. And all they're going to give you is they self-centered pride, boasting, ego, fleshly wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I like that. That's telling us again, the right hand, I will stretch out my right hand upon the inhabitant of the land, said Yah. He's doing all this. He did it when you finish reading Deuteronomy 28, you'll see, but wait a minute, hey, anybody that can do this, I better stand all the way down. I better get in my lane quick. See, and what this is, okay, how can you be fearful of the Creator if you don't know the power that rests there in him, that created all things, that has orchestrated all things? See, this is why he is branded with the fear, because the fear allowed you also to fully understand that right hand power is what you fear. You see? So let's go to the last verse, Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 6. In Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 6, Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 6, Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 6 reads, thou hast forsaken me, said Ahiah, thou art gone backwards. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee, and I am weary with repenting. I am weary with repenting. See, let's read that again so y'all can get that. That falls right into what everything I'm talking about. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 6. Thou hast forsaken me, said Yah. Thou art gone backwards. Therefore, I will stretch forth my hand against thee. See, a lot of y'all do not understand. Yah has stretched forth his hand against you. He has turned himself away from you, but yet he still has a stretched out arm. That stretched out arm is there to protect anything and everything from interfering with his will. That's why the arm is still stretched out, is to stop any and everything that would interfere with what he has willed. Okay, but listen to this. He said, therefore I will stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. Hey, what are you telling them, Father? I've been telling them that. You sitting here saying you got a stretched out hand that'll cut them up from the floor up, and they ain't got sense enough to understand that. He been saying it since the book of Genesis, always to Revelation, and there's no fear in those who are fearless, because they are the serpent seed. That's why people don't fear nothing I'm saying. They wouldn't have the fear in what I'm saying, because they are fearless. Because Satan is fearless. He's fearless. Why? He knows y'all have given him the okay to be who he is. He knows that. So he ain't got nothing to fear. He knew Yah has given him this D-A-Y, Proverbs 16 and verse 4. He knows that Yah has given him this day. And I was mentioning that to a lady today just to kind of get her into, she's trying to figure out why her son is staying out and doing the things he's doing. And I'm telling him we're in that day. Oh, I don't want to hear that. My father is a bishop and all that. I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. No, baby, you got the wrong one. So what I do see here in Jeremiah 15 and verse 6, where he's talking about, and destroy thee, I am weary with repentance. He will destroy your butt. And I know y'all don't think he will. I told y'all the judgment is to destroy your tails. While y'all sitting around here thinking it's playtime. It's time for me to be all the best that I can be. I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. The best thing to be is to have your spiritual backpack and make sure you are at the level of understanding spirit and truth, because that's what the Ruach come to give you, spirit and truth. But another thing he gives you, and that is the light in your right hand. That means when you going into situations, you can see it for what it is. And you be wondering, how do I know this? Why I can understand this? I can see this clear. It's because he got the light in your right hand so that you can see clearly in the midst of all this darkness that's going on in the world. If we have anyone that's in the live chat that would like to have a question or even have an answer, that's good. Or have something you want to speak on. Another young lady wanted to speak on the meaning or the purpose of the help meet, the help meet. Her that is a help meet. Only one I can give that overrides it all is going back to where the power is at. Genesis chapter 1. He said he made them. And when he said them, let me show you what he said. This is what the helpmeet is supposed to be doing. And just because he's not, it's not like it's out of the will and into the permissive will. Okay. He said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and Yah said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And us is the power. It's called his right hand. Okay. And he created that right hand as the Son of Man. He created it as the world called Jesus, Christ. It's not Jesus, it's Christ. He created it as his only begotten, his beloved. It is his right hand, his power. And he's saying it to his power in our image, after our likeness. He's talking to his power. And let them have dominion over the fish. Look at the word dominion. over the sea, over the fowls, over the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping things that creeped upon the earth. And then you notice he's saying, he's telling this to his power. So he's sealing it in. The Father is sealing it into the power. This is what I want it to be. And then he says, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him, male and female. He did not say he created male only in his image. He said he created he him, male and female, created them. To do what? To have dominion over the sea, the fish in the sea, over the fowls, over the cattle, over all the earth. You see that, woman? You were supposed to have the dominion as them, not him. Now, what is so important about Genesis 1? Because no evil was created. This is the perfect will of the Father. It's his perfect design, his perfect way, his perfect order. The Garden of Eden, where the tree of knowledge and good and evil wasn't even created. This is what he's telling you how he wanted it to be. And he made sure males and females understand he's creating it for them. It is them. Now watch this here. And he said, let's go back to 27, Genesis 1 and 27. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him, male and female created them. See, them. Now watch this. There you see them. Now watch this here. Verse 28. And Yah blessed them. Blessed them in what way? For the order of them being and having dominion over all those things. And I'm going to bless you so that you can have dominion over all those things as them, not him. So in 28, he said, and Yah blessed them. There go them again. And Yah said unto them, why did man turn everything into him? That's why you see the world in the condition that it is. Man never took his own position as a man. And this is where the world is at today. Out of order. Okay. And it says, and Yah blessed them, not him. And Yah said to them, not him, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over all living things that moveth upon the earth. This is showing women that they can hunt. They can do anything. Because Yah said he given you dominion over it. Who took your dominion? The flesh of man. And the Roman Catholics set the order. Okay. Just like they set the order with the elites, and the Roman Catholics is the same. They're in the same power punch together. And they set the order for the white people who were slaves, European slaves. They gave them everything. They didn't have food, they didn't have property, they didn't have money, they didn't have jobs, but the elites told them, we bringing slaves over and we need you all to keep them in check. Use them as slaves. We want them to be the slaves now, and we're going to give you land and money for you to take them and make them the slaves and do the work. And this is why you see white people feeling that they are superior when they know the truth, that they were once the slaves before we came over. Okay. So you can see that also in Deuteronomy 28. He tells you those that were below you, it is going to get beneath. Those that was beneath you is going to get above you. He's letting you know they were beneath you because they were slaves before you got over here. See, that's what I said. These Hebrews ain't going to tell you the truth, y'all. They ain't going to tell you the truth on nothing. And it says in verse Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28, and Yah blessed them, not him. And Yah said to them, not him, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish and the sea, and over the fowls and of the air, and over all the living things that moved upon the earth. Now, see, now he went to telling them and said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be meat. Yah is actually telling them how together. So when you wondering what the help meet was really about, it was really side by side working together. And because of man, he decided to flip the script, and they have taught you all from this time on. So this is why families are tore up from the floor, not because the order of Yah was set in Genesis 1 in the perfect will, excellent will, laid out the foundation. He laid that foundation out, and we tore it up and made it our way. Our men did, and they created it. And the Roman Catholics stuck in there and moved Eve into an area that I, Sister Deborah, as a prophetess being taught in the wilderness, I could see that they placed her totally out of order. I saw it coming. Because when I was a young girl, teenager, I said, well, wait a minute. You didn't tell Adam that. He said, only you can see that. That's what he said to me. He said, only you can see that. I said, you didn't, what she's saying to what they call a serpent, you didn't tell Adam that. So that would be the lie before the serpent even attempt her. And where did that lie come from? Adam talking to Eve. Adam had already been tempted, child. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why he didn't have no problem with hers being right there with him, being tempted. Because it was about the both being tempted in the mission of the oneness, because both of them was created to be the serpent seed. So they went into the order in which they were created from the kingdom. But so if you're ever wondering what is the helpmeet purpose, and it's in a nutshell, right in Genesis chapter 1. It's just that women won't believe it. They won't take heed to it. And like I said, the reason why you see the world in the condition that it is in, and I'm going to tell y'all before I end, I see a lot of people, I believe, this is me as a human being a prophetess in the wilderness here on the earth, seeing both sides, spiritual and the natural. What I'm seeing is people are taking everything and have taken it very lightly and has screwed up everything that the Yah was about from the beginning. And because of that, he said, now you see why the end is the end. I say, I see it. I see it. And I salute it too. I understand. I just, all of it to me is so clear. I clearly understand it. You know, I can clearly see it. It's almost like he just allowed me to just see it in the simple, in such a simple way. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like saying, wow, 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 you know. And then you long suffering and endurance, because you see righteous on one side and you see unrighteous, and it looks like unrighteous is winning. Like my son Quiet Storm said, mama, is the devil winning? I said, it looks like it, don't it? He ain't though, but I told him it looks like it, don't. See this, and he was young when he said that. He was like, I think 10. He said, you think the devil's winning? You know, because honestly, it's just that evil out here. And where it's at today, let me tell you something. Devil know he ain't winning. He know he ain't winning. He know he ain't winning. He got no problem. He know he ain't winning. He know his mission is to the lake of fire. He know he ain't winning. A lot of you all think he's excited about the Satanist wanting to take as many as he can with him. Yeah, you're sick. You're sick. See, this is this old talk that they done taught y'all. I keep trying to tell you, heaven rule. The kingdom of heavens ruled all things. Before he even brought anything to the earth, he had two books. He had a book and he had books. One, the book of life for eternal with him. The other one is the lake of fire. It has many books. He put everybody in where they belong. So what does Satan have the power over? What do Satan, how you going to sit and talk about Satan want to see everybody going to hell? Look, Satan know Satan got more sense than you do. You was created to praise, honor, and glorify the Father. Instead, you glorify the Satan. And you running around here thinking you know A to Z about this instructions and direction book with no ruach, no spirit. that know all things. You ain't got the one that knows all things. You just got the books that got the words in it. And you think you can precept, line, and little here to death everybody and whoop them across the head with Torah in the book. Sit down, clowns, and stop acting the fool. So, all right, Sister Deborah, I said to everyone in the live chat, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I hope you got something out of it. I see that no one has any questions, and I'm going to end this message. And I appreciate each and every last one of you. Shalom and shalom.